Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Maharaj Ji Neem Karoli Baba spent most of his life in the service of others. People always looked to him in their hour of need, and he always responded in a timely manner. Maharaj Ji Neem Karoli Baba, Vegetarian, the all-knowing miracle saint of North India, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Hello is how the friendly people of the autonomous region of Bougainville say hello in Tokpisin. In Latin viewers, I am Sam. The Bougainvillian people wish you happiness and fulfillment throughout your precious time on earth. We are delighted to have you join us for part 2 of the two-part series entitled Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba, Vegetarian, the all-knowing miracle saint of North India. Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba, known throughout North India as the Miracle Baba, was a unique and astonishing mystic who lived in Nainital in the Himalayas. He was born around 1900 in the village of Akbarpur in Uttar Pradesh into an affluent Brahmin family. Named Lakshmi Narayan Sharma, he was unmoved by worldly attachments even as a child. He married at the age of 11 but left for Gujarat soon after to advance his spiritual quest. Becoming a wandering sadhu or monk, he led an ascetic life and traveled to many parts of India in his youth. It was during this time that Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba acquired many spiritual names. In Vrindavan, the locals called him Shamatikari Baba or Miracle Baba, and in Bhavania, Gujarat, he was known as Tolaya Baba. Some of his other names included Lakshman Das, Hendiwala Baba, and Tikonia Wala Baba. Since love is at the heart of everything, the be-all and end-all of creation, Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba's doctrine was simple. Love everyone, serve everyone, remember God and tell the truth. He followed this up by repeatedly saying, Sab-ik, which means all is one, and continue with, if you cannot love each other, you cannot achieve your goal, for the whole universe is our home, and all residing in it belong to our family. Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba was a highly accomplished spiritual adept who possessed unusual spiritual powers. With the touch of a finger, the Baba was able to induce samadhi in his followers. He was also able to be in different places at the same time. Many such stories abound. In his lifetime, Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba performed many miracles. But the following incident made him famous as the sadhu from the village Neem Karoli. At that time, Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba was a young sadhu, about 20 or 30 years old. He had had nothing to eat for several days and thought it would be better to relocate to a city nearby that might yield better results. So he boarded a train without a ticket. As luck would have it, he was discovered by the train conductor, who pulled the emergency brake, causing the train to grind to a halt. The young sadhu was then forcibly removed from the train near the village of Neem Karoli. The conductor blew his whistle and the engineer opened the throttle. But the train didn't move. At the same time, the young sadhu sat down under the shade of a tree. Thereafter, the train remained broken down, unable to go anywhere, and all attempts at repairs failed. The train had taken on a life of its own and could not be persuaded to move, though they had tried everything that could be done to get it going. Some people thought that perhaps the young sadhu might have something to do with the strange occurrence. Eventually, the railway officials swallowed their pride, and many passengers and railway officials carrying food and sweets approached the young sadhu. They requested that he board the train. Railway officials made a deal with the young sadhu, who imposed two conditions in order for him to return to the train. Firstly, they were to build a station at the Neem Karoli village. At the time, the villagers had to walk many miles to the nearest station. Secondly, they were to treat sadhus in a more respectful way in the future. The officials agreed to the sadhu's terms, and once he reboarded the train, he jokingly said, "What, is it up to me to start the train?" Immediately after he boarded the train, it restarted with no further disruptions for the rest of the journey. This was the story of how the young sadhu came to acquire his now famous name of Neem Karoli Baba. We will continue this inspiring story after a brief message. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba Vegetarian, the all-knowing miracle saint of North India, part 2 of 2. Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba spent most of his life in the service of others. People always looked to him in their hour of need, and he always responded in a timely manner. Once, the famous Hanuman temple in Allahabad was under threat of submersion by the gushing flood waters from both the Ganges and the Yamuna rivers. His Excellency Dr. Kailash Navkachu, then the defense minister, was a highly religious person and, accompanied by his staff, came to review the situation of the heavy flooding. His Excellency Dr. Kachu commiserated with the people and said it was beyond his power, rather beyond all human power, to save the martyr of Hanumanji. Only the Hindu god Lord Hanumanji himself could do that. He suggested seeking Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba's help, as he was considered to be an incarnation of Lord Hanumanji. Considering that this advice came from such a wise and respected person, many started shouting for Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba. They called out for Babaji, addressing the Maharaji as Father. Babaji is an honorable name for Indian priest and is used to show great respect. Just when the people were desperately calling out to him, it appeared that the temple would go under. The Maharaji came by in his jeep and several persons shouted, "Here comes Babaji, he is Neem Karoli Baba." They all rushed and narrated to him their tales of hardship, pressing him to save the Hanuman temple. Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba told them they should sincerely pray to Lord Hanumanji. He then cupped some flood water from the rivers into his hand, sipped a few droplets and left. The swollen rivers started subsiding that very night, and the threat to the Hanuman temple was over in 2 days. A handful of Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba's American disciples traveled to India in the 1960s and 70s and later returned to America. Some of them have gone on to become spiritual teachers in their own right, such as Baba Ram Das and Bhagavan Das. Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba also established a number of ashrams from Kanchi, Vrindavan, and Rishikesh to Shimla, Lucknow, Hanuman-Gadi, and Delhi, etc. He even has an ashram in Taos, New Mexico, USA. In the Neem Karoli Baba ashrams, prasad of vegetarian foods offered during worship that exclude the prohibited items such as garlic, onion, roots, etc. are served. Worshippers normally consume prasad after worship. Under Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba's instructions, prasad was served generously and in large amounts throughout the day to everyone without discrimination. Give more, Maharaji Neem Karoli Baba would say. His Kwenchi and Bumyada ashrams were positioned to allow direct aid to be given to the helpless, in particular the Shilpakas, the forsaken ones. His love for the needy and the afflicted knew no limits. His disciples speak of his unconditional love for everyone and the connection formed with the saint that went beyond this earthly plane. Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba's teachings were simple, and he always reminded his disciples, "I do nothing, it is God who does it." In 1973, Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba left his physical body, returning to the higher realms he had never left and where a part of him always resided. Thank you, Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba, for showing us it is possible to live a happy and fulfilled life in this world by cherishing our love for all beings and remembering God above all else. For more information on Maharaj Neem Karoli Baba, please visit nkbashram.org. To our graceful viewers, it's been a pleasure to have you with us today. Coming up next is pasta with vegan omnipork meatballs in various sauces, part 1 of 2. Vegan meatballs and marinara sauce right after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May we all be guided by wisdom and compassion for a world blossoming in friendship and beauty.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.